Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Jake Break. We're coming to you here late action Sunday night. I guess actually this is getting released Monday morning. I always forget that, but we're recording here Sunday night. And Trent, it looks like you're feeling healthy, happy, and back to square one again.
Yeah, let's just say I'm feeling a lot better than last week. Still, my energy's still wiped out, but remember last week I told you I tested negative for the flu.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then when I went to the doctor's on Monday, the guy was like, "You definitely had the flu." Yeah, they said like if you test, at least what they've seen so far this year, it's been hitting so hard and fast. So people go to the doctor the first day, and the first day they'll test negative, but if they would go back the second day, they'd test positive.
Interesting.
So I went in the very first day I felt sick, and I tested negative. So he was like, "You definitely had the flu," and then I got an ear infection on top of it. So I didn't even know I had an ear infection. We'll put it that way. He looked at my ear and goes, "Oh, does that hurt?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Your ear is severely infected." He's like, it should ache and hurt. I'm like, it doesn't. But I was so congested in my head that like all the pressure, I couldn't feel it.
Right.
So then as soon as I got on meds and I started getting less congested, then my ear started to ache, and I was like, now I feel it. So I got loaded up on antibiotics and steroid, kind of took it out, wiped it right out of me, but I'm still feeling pretty sluggish.
Dang. Yeah, I can imagine so. I mean, I guess, so last week was legit your flu podcast.
Yeah. I think that might be the first time I ever had the flu.
Dang, okay.
But I remember when he told me that I had an ear infection, I was like, I don't think I've had an ear infection since I've been like 7, 8. I guess it's been a long time since I've had an ear infection. But, yeah. So, we're back. We're, I wouldn't say we're thriving quite yet. Because it's hard to in the temperatures we're having here in Pennsylvania. It is just, it's nasty. Downright miserable.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, everyone always teased me for being younger, like that I've never experienced a true winter, like, oh, you don't know what it's been like. And whenever we were younger, like people that were older than me have constantly reminded me of this heading into this winter. Well, I think you and I can officially chalk it up that we've experienced a true blue winter time now. Like I remember, I think it was like 2009, 2010, we got some snow. Last year was cold, but we didn't get a ton of snow. This year we got everything. I think we can officially say that we experienced a true winter, and we're not even through it yet. We're really not even close to being through it yet.
I love those comments, and they're like, "Oh, you don't know what it was like." I'm like, "Yeah, I also wish I was back then, so I could pay 25 cents for a gallon of gas." You know,
True.
like I know you made less money back then, but with the rate of inflation, it don't even compare.
Mm.
But yeah, I love those. You have no idea what it was like back in my day.
I walked to school 10 miles uphill, downhill, into the wind, no matter which direction I walked. No doubt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just think, someday we'll be those people, Trent. Someday.
Yeah, someday when, dude, and that's what's like scary too, especially with a kid now, man. It is terrifying of like what this world is like today, even compared to what it was like, 15 years ago, 20 years ago when we were children, and how much it's changed, dude. It's insane. It's scary to know, like, to even imagine what like what the world's going to be like when they're 20.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, like, whenever we were younger, we never would have thought about, like, the only reason why I bring this up, there was a story, and I'll get to it, but, like, AirPods. Everything was wired. It was a big advancement for me when I got my first iPod Shuffle.
Yeah.
Right? That was slick as a whistle. I thought that was the coolest thing on the block. But, growing up, all we had was CDs, and we still had VHSs. DVDs were slowly becoming a thing. And like you said, who knows what it'll be 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah, that, but then also just like the fact of, I remember as a kid, me and my brother, my mom would drop us off at a nearby creek, or we would start at our house and we'd walk the creek and go fishing. and we'd walk the creek for 3, 4, or 5 miles, and my mom would pick us up at a set time at this place.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that crap anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just... Man, it's terrifying to even think about. But...
Yeah. It's a wild world out there. I don't know. People always said that I'm like an old soul.
Jake, you are an old soul. You are the oldest soul I know, I think.
See, this is where I hope our future gets to. I hope someday we get the chance to like time travel, because I want to see if that old soul that everyone says that I have actually matches up. Like if someday you and I can travel back to like the 70s or the 80s, I want to see if it actually matches up.
It will, Jake, because when I go and I walk into Sheetz and I buy a bottle of Coke, right? Mm-hmm. I either tap my phone to pay or I pay with a card. You're pulling out cash.
Not anymore. You can't call me out on that anymore. Well, I'm a changed man.
The one day we went Christmas shopping, you did indeed pull out cash.
At one place I did, because it was like a $4 charge. I thought it was ridiculous to pull out a credit card for $4.
No. Yes, you are old. You would fit in perfectly in probably prehistoric times.
So here's a discussion that a coworker and I had, and I don't know if I brought this up to you at all this week or not, but just imagine your work now, okay? Anybody listening to the show right now, think of what you do for work now. Turn back the clock, like we'll just say 40 years, right? Let's say the year is 1985 for simple numbers.
Yep.
Think of your job now in the year of 1985 and how different it would be.
Oh,
right?
I live it every single day.
Really? How so?
We have equipment that we use that still exists today that they used back then. I don't use it because I have a choice to either use new stuff that's a lot easier to use, but all the time, my supervisor is like, "Oh, you're gonna go out there and use this?" I'm like, "No, you stopped using that before I was born. I was born in 2000." And he looks at me like I'm a child. But I'm like, all the time, "You don't know what it was like. We had to use this, and I'm like, that sucks. But frankly, I don't have to use it, so it doesn't impact me.
Right. Yeah. And the way I think about it is like, too, you think, at least for my job, I use 3 things all the time, right? I use my cell phone, I use email, and I use like a messenger service all the time. The time. Like, I guarantee if I'm working 8 hours, I'm using that stuff for over half the day or somehow connected to it. Can you imagine that back in 1985, how different my job would be? Like, we wouldn't have email. We wouldn't have texting or WebEx Messenger or Microsoft Teams Messenger or whatever messenger you use. Yeah. You'd have to call from the office or whatever. Like, you didn't have cell phones or real big cell phones back then.
Heck, you'd have carrier pigeon.
Oh, it'd be a whole different world. Like, we were talking about this, and it'd be like, you could truly, not that you can't now, I think some people do a really good job of this, but you could legitimately disconnect from your job after you clock out.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. Like, you wouldn't have people, texting, WebEx messaging or Microsoft Teams message or whatever messenger you use, email. Like, you wouldn't be tempted to check that like some evening or on the weekend or something like that. You literally wouldn't hear from customers or coworkers or something unless you were in the office or they called you or something. Like, I just can't fathom that world. I can't.
It would definitely be much different than today, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I know a few of the instruments I use at work. Like, the one thing I use to measure water, you stick the sensor in the water and you hold it there for 40 seconds. And you got to do that several times, even 20, 30 times across the creek. Back in the day, at the bottom of the meter, there was cups that would spin. And you had to wear headphones, and after it would spin so many times, it would click. So you had to count the clicks to measure the water.
Oh my gosh.
And then you had a handheld counter that you would click, 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 and then you'd write down your numbers. Whereas today it's just a computer that just you just hold it there and it measures everything.
That's pretty wild. And the other piece of it too, I'm sure you probably see this too, is like, looking at like traveling, right? With work and everything. I know I travel to a lot of different businesses or people's places or wherever, and kind of a local area. But granted, I'm sure if I lived back then, I'd know how to read a map. Like, I know how to read a map, but you wouldn't have as much. I don't know a way to describe it. Like, now, I can say, hey, what's your address? Type it in, and boom, it'll get me there 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Back then, I mean, they'd be like, hey, what's your address? You'd look at it on the map, configure a good route to get there. Like, if something came up that the road was closed or something, it wouldn't figure out, oh, here's another route. That's the one perk or benefit I think we have in today's world. Not that the other stuff isn't good too, but it's just, I don't know. My coworker and I were talking about this the other day, like how completely different our jobs would be if we did this job like 40 years ago.
Are you an Apple Maps or a Google Maps guy?
Oh, Apple Maps, just
Yeah,
because I
me
don't feel like
too.
downloading another app.
Yeah, me too. But like, I use Google Maps. Like, if I know, or I use Apple Maps. If I know how to get like to one of my gauges, I know how to get there
Yeah.
with no maps. I put it in every time because the phone is smarter than me.
Mm-hmm.
The phone knows if there's a wreck. The phone knows if there's construction. The phone knows if the road is closed because there's ice on it. The phone knows everything.
Right.
So I'm not playing the game of, oh, I know how to get there. I don't need this. I'm the first to admit, I'm putting the address in every time. It also tells me if there's a cop ahead.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like it says like speed check ahead. I'm like, thank you. That's very much appreciated. But I also like always keep my. Sometimes I mute the alerts, but sometimes not, and I change the voice to like some crazy accent. Because when I'm driving all the time for work, I get tired, and then when I hear like an Australian accent telling me to take exit 55, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's wild. It's completely wild. So if somebody knows a way to time travel or go back in time, we might see this 20, 30, 50 years down the road trend. I want to prove this theory right. I really do. Like, I want to go back in time and see what our jobs or our lives or how we would blend in, I guess you could say, with people back then.
It's crazy because we have an outline here, folks, and we are almost 15 minutes in, and we didn't even get to our first thing yet. That was all just off the top. Yeah, that's how this thing goes. If we put an outline together, not often do we get through it all, or do we even stay on track a little bit. It just kind of goes. But that's the joy in it.
That's right. That's how we keep the show fun and exciting for all of our listeners. But I guess transitioning to some things we actually wanted to talk about. One thing that has not gone out of age, right? Or one person, I should say, that has not been expired or gone beyond their age limit here is Justin Rose, right? The guy last year had probably one of his best career years. Then this year he's starting off on a hot streak, blows everyone out of the water at the Farmers Insurance Open, just gets an albatross, his first career albatross in TGL last week. I mean, the man is defying time right now, being the elder statesman on the PGA Tour and still finding ways to win. And whether you like him or not, he's still playing golf out there, folks. That's competitive.
How old even is he now? I'm looking it up.
I think he's 41, I think.
No, he's 45.
45, okay. Even better yet.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Rose is one of those guys that you're either a fan or you're not a fan, because I mean he can get fiery, right? He can be a little testy. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Justin Rose fan, but I respect the dude because he doesn't hit the ball the furthest, but he just finds a way to win.
Yeah.
Last year he made a lot of tournaments super interesting. So I have a feeling that last year he had a historical run. I think this year may be bigger than that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's finding something in his game here last season, this season. It's just, I don't know, it's making him tough to compete against. I'm not saying he's on Scotty level, But when he's playing, he's bound to be in the mix.
And that's what, like, I think too. I think what he has going for him is he's such a competitor. Like, he has that fire. He has that dog in him, if you know what I mean. Like, he's not gonna go down without swinging. So,
Yeah.
and he's not a guy like Tommy Fleetwood that may start out the first 3 days super hot and then takes a crap on Sunday. Justin will play stellar golf from start to finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what he brings this year.
Well, in this PGA season, we're very young into the new season here, and of course comes with some controversy. Well, not even controversy, but some new hype around it, right? With the whole transition process from players wanting to deter from LIV, jump back onto the PGA Tour. What's that process look like? I understand now that there's like a certain window of time now that players can return back on. Patrick Reed is the newest name on the market that wants to return back to PGA. But this week at the Farmers, one of the biggest names in the field that has now made that jump is Mr. Brooks Koepka. I'm not sure how much of it you watched, Trent, or anything like that, but I mean, everything I swear this week leading up to the Farmers was talking about Brooks Koepka. And there was discussion that he wasn't even going to be able to make the cut in the first 2 rounds, which he did barely, and he still finished decent for his first tournament back. But I don't know, what was your kind of thoughts on that with the big hype around his return?
Don't get me wrong, he's still a phenomenal golfer, but I think one of the toughest things that he has to get around is the mental aspect of it, because like you said, his name is everywhere. He's one of those guys that I feel like everyone's not essentially against him, but he's definitely made some enemies along the way. So if he can, kind of shut out all the outside noise, I think he can definitely have a few wins on the tour this year. But I want to talk about that whole PGA Tour LIV. It infuriates me. I think it's bad for the game of golf. I do. Because I understand the PGA Tour is very prestigious, and you have to have boundaries. And you can't let the players just walk all over the integrity of the tour. But at the same time, I think there needs to be more of a free-flowing. I think there's a world where they can be intertwined and be very, very successful. I don't know how to go about that, but I think players that went to LIV just to try something new, to make some more money, whatever it is, they shouldn't be, I don't know, essentially blacklisted from the PGA Tour forever. But I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but it's one of those things that if I feel like there's a tournament that, Scotty Scheffler wants to go play on LIV and he wants to go play in Dubai, go play in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
And then he wants to come back and play at the Farmers. If you have your tour card, play in the Farmers, right? But I also think that, the way they have it now, I guess people can come to play in all the majors, even if you're on LIV. But I don't know, man. I think it's a little messy.
Oh, I agree. And, honestly, at the end of the day, whether people want to recognize it or not, the whole controversy that LIV brought to the whole professional golf space brought improvement to the tour. I mean, there wasn't anything out there that was like LIV. I agree with you. The PGA Tour is its own class, right? It has prestigious events. It's got the ultimate history in professional golf. But ultimately, what LIV brought to the table, I mean, there's obviously a controversy where the money's coming from, all that good stuff. But its ultimate mission at the end of the day, it brings a whole different class and world of people into the world of golf, right? It's got that sort of hyped up atmosphere. There's music playing in the background. It's a 3-day tournament, shotgun start. There's the team aspect that gets people involved differently than looking at the individual in the tournament. But the other piece I think that people don't recognize is Live's proponent and kind of its ownership for the players and kind of their, I guess, stock or investment into it kind of jumped the PGA then to do their player equity program. Right, that launched in 2024, I think, in a little bit of reaction to what Live brought, because these guys were getting all this merch, all this video, all this everything on the PGA, and weren't getting anything from it. I mean, you look at what NIL has transformed in college football and college sports, whether it's good or not. You know, now that they're getting recognized and paid for that on the PGA Tour with its prestige and recognition, I think you might see some people coming back to the PGA if they allow it in the next couple of years from Live, because I think a lot of guys were like, look, I'm not competing with, you know, the Scotties and Brooks and DJs of the world at that point in time, but if I can get some cash back from you guys utilizing my name, image and likeness, and you know everything, that means something.
And I think too, a lot of people love the game of golf and they love to have fun. Golf isn't, you know, all about competing for everybody. Don't get me wrong, Live is still competitive, but I think there's a whole new aspect of fun when it comes to Live.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of players that just love playing on Live because they feel like a kid again. Like when they're hitting their drives, there are people behind the tee box just screaming.
Right.
Like everyone is so happy to be there and just having a good time. But I think there has to be some way for a crossover.
Yeah.
But and the thing is, I respect the integrity and the prestigious factor of the PGA Tour, and it will be like that, I think, forever. And you can't get too loosey-goosey with it, or that goes downhill. And I think that's their ultimate goal, is to keep it as prestigious as it is. But I just think players that decide to make the switch and then they're kind of getting blacklisted now, I just think there should be more of a fluid, maybe they do a punch card thing where if you're on the PGA Tour, you can play in 5 live events a year, right? And without any penalty. You can go over there, but in turn, then, of course, then those weekends you're not playing on the tour. So I think there needs to be something to kind of bring them together, and I think it could be in the benefit for both the tour and live.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of butting heads and kind of working against each other.
Right. And ultimately, I think the one way they can bridge that gap is, whether it's right or wrong, is to make live events have official world golf ranking point sort of recognition. It's still in the approval process. I don't know if they'll ever get approved for that, but a lot of guys like the Brookses and the Brysons and the Phil Mickelsons of the world still had some kind of status or recognition in the official world golf rankings. They're able to play in some signature events from previous champs or just invites from major events. But there's going to come a point in time with some of these young guys that are out there in the live tour, like that Lasasso or the recent NCAA champ that just joined the High Flyers, like Phil's team. He doesn't have any official world golf ranking points. For him to play on like a Ryder Cup team someday or participate in a major event someday, like it's going to have to be picked, because he's never going to automatically qualify unless Live gets recognition with official world golf rankings. Now, granted, I don't think there should be rankings the same as the PGA, DP World Tour, Asia Tour, whatever tours out there, because it's a 54-hole tournament, maybe different, competitive atmosphere. But they got to have some kind of recognition, or else guys are going to be like, well, if I want to play for my country or play in these major tournaments someday, I'm never going to get picked for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there has to be a ranking system that encompasses, it factors, where the tournament was held, but it doesn't shame say Liv played at Bethpage Black and then PGA Tour played at Bethpage Black. Mm-hmm. A score of 10 under is 10 under, no matter you're playing Liv, you're playing PGA Tour, whatever it is. But I think there has to be something to kind of bridge that gap, because at the end of the day, Liv has brought a lot of eyes to golf. There have been a lot of people that didn't watch golf, and now they really enjoy it because it just brings it's like a party, essentially, right? So I think it's great for the game because it's bringing more eyes to the game, getting people out on the course and actually playing themselves. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, that's why you look, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but one of the biggest tournaments of the year, the PGA, as far as attendance and audience interaction goes, Waste Management Open, right? Why is that? Because you've got this atmosphere of people that maybe don't, not really respect the traditions of golf, but it's a whole different atmosphere at that tournament, right? It's about the excitement, it's about the atmosphere of the game, the crowd getting pumped up. I mean, they sort of encourage this wild behavior. I grant people took advantage of that in years past, but like you mentioned, Trent, it brings a whole different landscape of people into the game that are not focused on, like at the Masters, for example. It's a whole different world and atmosphere, which I respect and I agree it should stay like that. But some of these other tournaments on the PGA, if you can bring in people new to the game of golf and they don't feel stressed about, oh, am I following proper etiquette? Am I, maybe being a little too rambunctious or rowdy? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it brings a new landscape of people in. So I agree. I think someday there has to be a bridge that gets connected between the two. What that is, when that is, or how that looks, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what other people say.
Yeah, because essentially what, the sanctions that PGA put on golfers that went to live scared a lot of players.
Yeah.
I guarantee there were a boatload of players on the tour that were thinking about going to live to play in a tournament or two. And as soon as the sanctions dropped, they were like, screw that. I'm not going anywhere. Or they were like, screw it. I'm losing money week by week playing on the tour. I'm lucky if I make the cut. I am losing thousands and thousands of dollars on a caddy, on transportation, on hotel, on food.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I go to live, I'm going to be making,
I'm guaranteed money.
Exactly. I'm making good money. Whereas on the tour, it's, especially in the Korn Ferry Tour, there are players that are, taking loans out to try to make it happen.
Right.
Because, lodging and everything is, even your rounds at the tournaments, you're paying for the rounds. I forget who it was. A couple years ago, the PGA Tour posted a video of an amateur that was playing, and they still pay for their rounds, right? And he was like, oh, I just thought that we didn't have to pay. And they're like, no, you got to pay for your round.
Yeah, it's a tough scene.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what it shakes out to. But, at the end of the day, I think, there's got to be something done to kind of bridge the gap there. But we'll see. I don't know. But one other event, obviously the Farmers Insurance Open was exciting. But I am loving the start to UFC this year, Trent. UFC 325. I would say overall the card was okay. Right, there was some exciting prelim fights. There were some on the main card that were good. I would say comparing it to 324, it wasn't quite the same, but it's pretty hard to compete with that. But 325 overall was amazing. I stayed up for the whole dang thing, and it was great. I mean, heck, the main card was over before midnight, which I am loving. The 9 p.m. starts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I watched like 3 of the prelims. I went to bed. I was at a wedding, and it was freezing cold. So when I got back in the warm, I was like, I need to pass out. So I didn't even. I remember when I got in bed, she's like, "Do you want to watch the main card?" I was like, "Honey, I can't keep my eyes open any longer." So I think Tuivasa was coming on when I went to bed.
Yeah, that was an okay fight, but those guys were just gassed come around 1.5.
Talk about disappointing. Tai Tuivasa was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
4 years ago? He was electric. He was a man of the people. He put on a show every time. He was out there kind of like a Derek Lewis, just fun, super fun to watch. And I think since then, he's been on like a, 5, 6, 7 losing streak. Stuff isn't going his way. But yeah, man, those heavyweights, when they're in there swinging, like, they're trying to get a knockout because they know if it goes to a decision, by the mid of third round, they are dead,
Yeah.
absolutely gassed. And what's going to end up happening is someone's going to go for a takedown, and they're just going to lay on top of each other because they're dead.
Well, and you saw last night. I mean, Ty was going against Teixeira there,
Yeah.
the huge guy from Brazil. Teixeira is a heck of an animal in the octagon. But you saw even after round one, he was gassed because all his fights, I didn't realize this till last night, every single one of his fights have been decided 38 seconds or less. And so, I mean, for him to even go into round two, I mean, he was gassed. And in the third round, Ty was obviously down 2-0, without a doubt. But in the third round, I think if Ty could have just found even a little bit of gas, he would have had it. Teixeira was just gassed. I mean, Ty was pounding him, and then they'd put him in the clinch, pound him in the clinch. And I think if Ty could have put together a combo or two in that third round, he maybe could have gotten a knockout. I mean, these guys were just gone at the third period. But overall, the card, I think, was still exciting, especially when you look at the co-main and the main event. I mean, honestly, that Dan Hooker and Benoit Saint-Denis fight was amazing. I thought Dan Hooker was looking really good at the beginning. But then, I mean, Saint-Denis, the guy is just an absolute animal. I would not be surprised if he gets a shot at some higher profile opponents here coming this year yet, because, I mean, he knocks out arguably one of the toughest guys in the lightweight division of Dan Hooker in the second round. I mean, it was just unbelievable. But I don't know. The main event of the evening, though, was so hyped, dude. This was what I was looking forward to all night long. Sydney, Australia, the hometown kid, Volkanovski, defending the title for a record-tying time there. And he just puts on a masterclass, dude. I mean, the walkout was incredible. I don't know. Did you watch the walkout?
I saw clips of it.
Oh, it was just so cool. When Down Under started playing, I mean, the whole crowd is singing along to this guy. Everyone is hyping him up. I mean, and he just goes out and takes care of business. I mean, he was just absolutely. I mean, Lopez is a dangerous guy in featherweight, but Volkanovski just put on a masterclass, dude.
Yeah, and like I saw clips of, and like what people don't understand. Yeah, if the fighters look beat up, cut up at the end of the fight, have you ever seen what they look like 12, 24, 48 hours after the fight?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure people have seen the clips of like Paddy Pimblett after the fight with Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
It looked like someone took a baseball bat and smashed both of his eyes in.
Yeah, he was rough.
Like, I know I saw clips of Volkanovski with Adesanya after the match when he was walking, and I think Volk probably broke his foot or his leg. I think Lopez had 2 broken feet.
Yeah, he broke both of his feet last night in the fight.
Yeah,
with Volk's checks.
And like I think Volk's right hand was broken as well. So for these guys to be out there still just swinging and literally fighting, giving everything they got, and they have broken bones, and like it is just a different level of toughness that it's all mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they can separate their goals, everything they've worked for, and put the pain on the back burner. But they say after that adrenaline wears off, even an hour afterwards, as soon as that adrenaline wears off, they are in a world of pain.
Yeah.
I saw Volk. You saw how, after the fight, how he made it out of the ring. Backstage, he could barely walk. He looked like he was walking on glass. So, dude, it's just...
Well, that's why I saw an interview with Justin Gaethje, and he said if he gets a knockout win, he literally cannot sleep for like 24 hours. Like his body his adrenaline is kicked on for that long. He literally cannot sleep for a day or two afterwards. Those guys are just, and gals are just a different breed. I mean, they are nuts.
Yeah, they are built completely different.
Yeah. But, I mean, since it was a little bit later last night, I did need a little bit of boost here again this morning to get rolling here. So obviously, Trent, you know this, and everyone that's listened to the Jake Break knows this. But if you haven't, if this is your first episode, first of all, welcome. But secondly, if you like coffee just like I do, but it just gets you all sweaty, shaky, and jittery, be sure to check out the fine folks at 4wellness.com. They have this recipe for the good stuff. You put that in your coffee, and boy, you can drink coffee every day of the week, and it won't affect you. They also got some other good stuff too. But be sure to check out our fine friends over at 4Wellness. Type in code JACOB80005. That is JACOB 8 3 zeros and a 5 to get $30 off your first order.
Jake, I think we need to film a commercial for wellness.
Yeah, we did one, but didn't get viewed as much. I got some other stuff in the mail coming here soon, so we might have to do that again.
It's gonna be a 2-day long commercial, right? First day, we are gonna get you a dirty chai latte with 2 shots of espresso.
Okay.
And you're gonna drink it, okay?
Okay.
And then we are going to record you in the aftermath of what it does to you.
It will definitely be a 2-day commercial then, because I'll be up for 2 straight days.
For people that don't know, Jake will be white as a ghost, look like he's about to pass out, and just like...
Be bad.
Yeah. And then day 2, you're going to drink the same thing, but you're going to have the good stuff in it.
I like that.
People will see the aftermath of no good stuff and the good stuff.
I love it. And, I've just started getting back into working out pretty hardcore here at the beginning of the year, so I've used some of their gummies as well. Like they have a tart cherry one that is great for like fighting inflammation, soreness, recovery. I mean, they're amazing. They taste amazing. Like I could sit down and eat the whole bag. But they work really good too. I'm definitely not as sore or tired or anything after I work out a good lift. So, but that's enough as far as advertising go. That's one and done for us. But we'd love to get some more folks on the show to support the broadcast here and get your name out there. But I think the big ticket item though, Trent, is this coming weekend. Yeah. Big Super Bowl Sunday, the big ticket show. It all comes down to this. The Seahawks Patriots.
Big rematch from what year was that?
Oh yeah, when they didn't run it to Marshawn.
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler with the interception. I think it was Malcolm Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good rematch.
Yeah, man.
2 completely different teams though.
Oh. Exactly. I'll give I don't know how I think it's going to go.
Okay.
I will say I think the Seahawks are going to win. And I think the Seahawks defense is going to win the game. I think Sam Darnold is going to be... I don't think he's going to be amazing, but I think he's going to be better than Drake May. But I just think with how stout Seattle's defense is, they are going to put pressure under Drake May, and he's going to make some mistakes, and it's going to come down to either a fumble in the pocket or an interception, and that's what's going to change the tide of that game.
So you're predicting a close game, but the Seahawks defense is going to win it for them?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 28-24.
I like it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a real high-scoring affair either. I don't know, just with after what I saw last week, I would agree with you. I think the Seahawks are going to win it. I think Sam Darnold looked good last week.
Yeah.
The last week of the playoffs, the NFC Championship. Threw for almost 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, I believe. I mean, if he can even do half of that with the run game and the defense that they have, I think it's going to be a handful for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in a field that doesn't have to worry about snow and weather and all that good stuff. Like, it should be a pretty neutral field at that point in time, as far as weather goes and conditions go.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like the Patriots have a scary offense. They're stout, but
a bend don't break defense, I would say.
Yeah, and Drake May, I mean, he can be fantastic and very accurate, but there's also been some times this year where he's been a little shaky, and decision-making wise hasn't been the best, especially when the pocket's collapsing.
Yeah.
So I just think that the offensive line is going to get swallowed by the Seahawks defensive line, and they are going to force either they're going to force fumbles or they're going to force him to throw some interceptions. Because the thing is, I mean, every game is this way, but especially in the Super Bowl, you're not going to win if you can't move the chains.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna be stuck behind 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and long, it's gonna be tough to win, especially against a defense like Seattle.
Yeah.
So they're a very disciplined defense, and I think this year is the coach's first year, correct? I think.
Well, it's Vrabel's. Oh, jeez,
It's first year for the Patriots, but then I think the Seahawks coach is also the first year.
McDaniel? Is it McDaniel?
I forget his name. I just remember watching a video here about last week.
Yeah, I think it might be a second or third year in the league.
McDonald.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking Mike McDaniel from Miami. He's now with the Chargers, but
Yeah.
McDonald. I think it might be his second or third year, or is it his first year as head coach?
He was hired January 31st of 2024. So this would be the second year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, second year. I knew that he was recent because it was after, I guess, Carroll went to the
Raiders,
and then that turned into a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see two coaches that are relatively, I mean, Vrabel, his first year with the Patriots, to be able to turn, because I think last year the Patriots were 3-14.
Yeah, they weren't good.
So to be able to turn a franchise around in 1 year is remarkable. But I love seeing two new coaches, we'll say, in the Super Bowl rather than coaches that we have seen the same faces in the Super Bowl I feel like the past 10 years we have seen one, if not two, of these same guys every year. I mean, kudos to them, but I don't have a team really. I just love watching football, and I love a good underdog story, and seeing guys that aren't typically here with success is cool to see.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. It's fun in that aspect, and just to see kind of how the team has bought into both of those coaches so quick is exciting to see. But the other big piece to do the Super Bowl here, Trent, that I think we got to talk about is what's the spread looking right? We're not talking about like the betting spread, anything like that. We're talking about the food spread here, folks. Every year for the Super Bowl, I feel like we always have some good food out there. People just go crazy for Super Bowl Sunday. Like all the pizza shops locally, everywhere you go, I feel like everyone's running some kind of special for the Super Bowl. What's it looking like in the household this year for the Super Bowl spread?
I'm not too sure what we're going to have yet, but kind of on the, what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about making some nice loaded nachos.
I love it.
Just slathered. Pulled pork, cheese, beans, the whole shebang. But then also maybe some homemade stromboli.
Oh, yeah. That's a great choice.
It's just, stromboli is one of those things for me that it's a guilty pleasure, I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Especially with way too much cheese in it. I hate getting a stromboli that is lacking on the cheese.
Or the first quarter is all bread.
Yeah.
That's a big pet peeve of mine.
Frustrating. But then also, talking about stromboli, I have to go to a side rant quick.
Yeah.
A lot of pizza places, you have a small and you have a large stromboli. Mm-hmm. The small is barely enough to feed a 7-year-old child. But then a large will feed a family of 14.
Yeah.
Can we start making a medium, maybe?
Yeah.
Something that's 2, maybe 3 people. It's a decent meal. You have 1 or 2 little pieces left over.
Right.
Because like I ordered a large and I get it. I'm like, this thing is literally 4 feet long. Like there is no need for this for 2 people. But then a small, it doesn't cut it.
Now, and what's your go-to fillings there for a stromboli? What are you putting in that thing?
It's tough because different places I get different things. I think
Oh,
good old trusty is just pepperoni, ham, and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that I get that's actually a pretzel stromboli. So the bread is made out of like pretzel bread.
Oh man, we got to try this sometime.
No,
Okay.
it's so good. And then cheese, pepperoni, ham, onions, mushrooms, green peppers, and then it also has cheese steak, like chip steak in it.
That sounds real good. Is that like down where you live now? Has this
Yeah.
place? Oh yeah, we're definitely checking that out sometime.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, we're definitely checking that out.
But yeah, so I'm thinking some loaded nachos and some stromboli.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like food's always a good part of it. I mean, we're not going so far as the Bradley Cooper commercials where we're saying football is, just a facade to sell food. But Super Bowl Sunday, I feel like is just synonymous with great food. Like, I'm always a big dip guy. Like, I love a good, like, buffalo chicken dip, taco dip, cheese dip, something like that on Super Bowl Sunday to snack at.
Yeah.
And I feel like having like a good, decent sized meal right before the game is just ideal as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that looks like for me yet. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm hoping that there's a bunch of dips in the mix there to make it happen. So we'll see.
And who knows, we might have a Jake Break spread for the Super Bowl this year.
We may. I think that's got to happen.
We'll see.
It's got to
We'll see
happen.
what happens.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Like, when you said when we got on today, you're like, "Yeah, Super Bowl's this weekend," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "How is it the Super Bowl Sunday already, dude? Time is just like
Zooming.
flying." Yeah, it's incredible.
Uh,
But moving on after that, I guess we can head into one of our 2 weekly segments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we got to jump just right into the gas and brake segment this week, Trent. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to go gas on this week. And I'm just going to jump right into it because I think it piggybacks off of my Super Bowl Sunday discussion there. So recently, my family and I have found something special at Aldi's. They are just cooking up something special in many different ways, but they make these like little containers of different dips. And I'm going all gas on them. Like there was so just to kind of lay out the spread here, there was a guacamole that had like pineapple and poblano peppers in it. There was a street corn dip. There was a Mexicali dip. There was a Chinese wonton. No, not wonton. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a Chinese like wonton dip. Did I say the street corn dip? I think I did. I mean, just that spread of dips was phenomenal. Like, I could have eaten a meal all day long with those. Like, I housed at least a half a bag of Tostitos scoops with those dips. And they were a great price, too. I mean, only a couple bucks for a decent-sized container. So I'm going all gas on Aldi dips because I'm just all about them right now.
Is it like a variety pack, or do you buy each one individually?
Oh, no, each one individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Mexicali might have been my favorite. It was like cream, like sour cream kind of, I think, and then it had like different cheeses in it, peppers in it, great spice blend. It wasn't like watery too. Like
Yeah.
it was just phenomenal. I mean,
Are they back in like the fridge section, like
Yeah.
the refrigerated? Yeah.
Yeah, like near where like the chicken salad and stuff like that is. I mean, it was just awesome. So I'm going all gas on all the dips.
I'm getting hungry now, Jake. This is not good because I'm not a late eater and it's pretty late. So, but yeah, I think I have to go breaks this week. I just kind of had a flashback of what I did a few weekends ago in sanding drywall, and I had to pump the brakes. I mean, I'm slamming the brakes actually because
Okay.
you can wear a respirator all you want. it makes a way into your nose, your lungs, your eyes, your ears, every crevice you don't want it to be. It gets everywhere, makes an absolute mess. So I'm slamming the brakes on sanding drywall.
That's a very reasonable break there. That stuff, like you said, it just lingers.
Oh, it's absolutely everywhere. You go outside or you look in the mirror and you can only see the whites of your eyes. Like it's just, it's gross. Then you feel all tacky and just, I don't know, man. I will mud all day, but when it comes to sanding, ugh. It's brutal. There was a couple of places we had to rip because if you use a certain type of mud, that it dries pretty quick and pretty hard. That you can't take a normal sanding block to it.
Okay.
So if you have a little bit of a high spot, we had to rip the orbital with 80 grit. I don't know if any of you out there have ever sanded drywall with an orbital. It will fill the entire room in seconds. We couldn't hardly see each other. That's how, cloudy it was in there. So yeah, drywall just, man. People out there do it every day. You have a skill that is just, people don't understand what it's like to do your own drywall. So next time you see a drywaller, tell them thank you.
That's a very reasonable break.
Yeah.
I would echo that with the limited experience I have doing that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Not ideal.
But so I guess now we can talk about the blind draft results from last week, Jake.
Yeah. You want to rip through them?
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago you came off a big win that you needed.
I needed it. Yeah.
This week, Jake, we tied 50-50 on wintertime activities. It's a punch in the gut, but at the same time, I think you're taking it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, a tie is a win in my book because we don't want to keep rallying up your win total. But I thought I had a pretty good list, in all honesty. So.
Yeah, so now we tied 50-50, so now I have 16, Jake has 12. We have 4 ties, and the special guests have 2.
Yeah. Very good.
But, spinning off of that, we just talked about the Super Bowl, and one of the biggest, especially for, how do I want to put this? People that aren't major, football watchers, the biggest controversy this time of the year is halftime performers. Because most of the time, big football fans don't really care who's in the halftime show.
Right.
Because most of the time, it's just not good. So, people that do not watch football at all, they tune in just for the halftime show, watch it, and then get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, this episode, we are going to do a normal, typical blind draft, but we are going to do dream Super Bowl performances. Like, if you could handpick who you want to perform the next 5 years, this is going to be the list. And we're doing dead or alive, right?
Right.
Dead or alive.
Absolutely. And just to kind of note, too, some of these people may have performed in the Super Bowl at one point in time, but at least in our recent memory, we don't recognize that or remember that. Like, we're talking, some of my picks at least might have performed it back in the 80s or 90s or something, but if they could come back and do it again this year, I'd pick it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
who's flipping the coin?
I think it's your turn. I think I did it last week. And you got it right.
All right, what are you calling?
Let's go with heads.
Flip a coin. Tails, Jake. All right. I think I'm actually going to Luke Combs, number 1.
Okay. Good pick. Alrighty. So for mine, this person had a recent performance of the national anthem, I believe at the AFC Championship game.
You took it.
I'm going to go as Mr. Zach Top.
There you go. He was on my list. That was a close 2 for me. I was hoping you weren't, but There it was. Let me see. I think I'm gonna kind of span out my picks a little bit. I'm actually gonna go Metallica number 2, Jake.
Wow. Okay, I would not have seen that coming from you. Great pick. Great pick,
Yeah.
but I can't say I would have guessed that would be on your list.
Yeah, I want to have a decent spread.
Okay. Okay. Number 2 for me, I feel like I got to go with another Zach, Zach Bryan at number 2. I feel like he'd put on a great halftime performance.
As long as he doesn't get arrested on the way there, during, after.
See, I see what you're doing. You're coming after my picks, trying to degrade my picks.
Nah. All right, number 3, Jake. I think I'm gonna pull another one out that you're gonna be very surprised. I have a feeling.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to say this one. I'm gonna do it. I think I'm going Michael Jackson.
Okay. You know, he did a performance back in the day, and
Correct.
it was electric.
Yeah.
So I would be in favor of that one. That's a good one.
Just because the showmanship that he has, that I just think it would be electric if you could reincarnate him to be 25 and to
Right.
put on a performance. I think it would just be electric.
Yeah. That's a good one.
And I think it'd be one that like would be a huge hit, right? Because there are a lot of performances that they choose that there's a lot of people that are like, I'm not even watching because I don't want to see this. I feel like that'd be one that a lot of people would be like super stoked about.
Oh yeah, he was like worldwide superstar material. For my third pick, I just realized my list is a lot of the same genre, which is no surprise. For my third pick, I'm going to go with AC/DC.
Okay, that was the other one I had. I had Metallica / AC/DC. I wasn't sure which one I was going to go with. Good pick.
Thank you.
Number 4. I think I'm going to go Billy Joel.
Okay, and number 1, man, you were just full of surprises this week.
I know.
I mean, I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like in a couple of months, I'm going to a symphony with a performer that's going to sing a lot of his songs. But I still just would not have picked that from you.
And I don't know what it is. My Spotify has been kind of going on one lately.
Okay.
That's just been throwing out some random stuff, and I'm kind of digging it. So it's completely different than today's music. That I don't know. I feel like it stops the clock. It stops time. I don't know what about it, but I'm a big fan.
Great. Yeah, I'm digging it. I am not complaining one bit. To go along that, if we're going to turn back the clock here a little bit, I feel like another great band that would have done numbers in a Super Bowl halftime performance. Actually, let me look them up here to see if they ever did one. So the pick, anyhow, that I'm going to do is I don't think they ever did it. Is the Eagles, the band the Eagles.
Yep. That'd be a hot one. So I think since I went with 2 throwbacks, I'm gonna pick a little bit more of a recent one. I'm gonna go the Zac Brown Band.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I feel like that's one that could go crazy too.
So I looked it up, and the Eagles never performed at the Super Bowl halftime performance.
Yeah, okay.
I guess they turned down the opportunity to play at the Grand Ole Opry, so that's that. Okay, for my 5th and final pick. Man, this is tough. So tough, dude. I have so many good choices on here that I would love to throw on this list. That just, I don't know. I feel like I got to go with my number one Spotify artist from this past year. And it's completely different than anything we have on this list, but I think it would be an awesome opportunity to see him at the Super Bowl halftime performance. And there's been jokes circulate, not jokes, but like people circulating that he should do it sometime, is Forrest Frank.
Good pick.
Some honorable mentions for me was Toby Keith, Alan Jackson, the band Alabama, Jimmy Buffett, and Olivia Dean.
Just had to throw Olivia Dean on there. I had 3 of my honorable mentions. I actually had Josh Turner on mine.
Oh, that would have been good, yeah.
4 of them. So I had Josh Turner, Kenny Chesney, Post Malone, and Elton John.
Yeah. Great picks.
Yeah. But, so my number 1, Luke Combs, 2, Metallica, 3, Michael Jackson, 4, Billy Joel, 5, Zac Brown Band.
Yeah, good picks there. A lot of diversity there, and solid top to bottom. Mine was number 1, Zach Top, 2, Zach Bryan, 3, AC/DC, 4, Eagles, and 5, Forrest Frank.
There you go, people. Go ahead and vote this week on our Instagram poll. I believe Tuesdays. It'll be up for 24 hours.
Yep.
So make your voice heard. Shoot us a DM. How bad it was. How good it was. If there was anyone that you were like dying to see, hopefully they are, or maybe, let us know your favorite halftime show ever or your least favorite halftime show ever. Because we've had a couple. I feel like the past 5 years when I've watched the halftime show, I have just caught myself saying, "What are we doing? What is going on?" One that I vividly remember that was like actually I feel like okay was Katy Perry. Was it Katy Perry?
I think she did it a while back, yeah. Like 2012.
Yeah, when
area?
she came in riding that giant like lion thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But there's been a bunch that have just been like just wild.
Dang, so I was actually really close. It was 2015, not 2012. But that Katy Perry did that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think she rode it on that giant lion because I thought that was like the coolest thing.
It was her or Miley Cyrus? Didn't Miley Cyrus also do something like that?
Miley Cyrus would have rode in on a wrecking ball. No, it was Katy Perry. Yeah, look at that. Giant gold.
Yeah, there it is. I remember that now. Yeah. But, no, that's all good. Yeah, like Trent said, that poll's going to be up Tuesday. And please, let us know, who you'd like to see. I mean, we missed a ton of people on that list, even beyond our honorable mentions. That would be a lot of fun to see. But as always, we appreciate you listening. We are so excited for Super Bowl Sunday here coming this weekend. Feel free to let us know what you'd like to hear going on in the future, right? So we got some people lined up that we want to get on the show. But if there's something we're missing week in and week out that you're like, man, we would love to hear Jake and Trent talk about this, please let us know. Email us, DM us, comment on a post, whatever it is, just let us know. Because we want to make sure we're creating this show for you folks out there. But we appreciate you listening. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Give us a like, comment on everything. Let us know what we're doing right or wrong. I know we beg for this every week, but it truly does make a difference. So be sure to give us a like. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones at the Super Bowl party this coming Sunday about the Jake break, because it's bound to be a great, great time. So have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time.